Hello my dear students, good morning to all. Welcome back to the 10th standard English classes. My dear student, in this class we are going to study about the Narayanapur incident. The supplementary reader, the first supplementary reader in 10th standard, that is the Narayanapur incident. Part 5th. Dear student, in today's class we are going to discuss about the 5th part of Narayanapur incident. Before going to start the 5th part, let us glance or recall once again what we had discussed in the part 4 in the same lesson. Got it? My dear student, can any one of you tell me what we discussed in the last classes? Yes, very good. We came to know that in the last classes, the important aspects of the home of Mohan and what were the incident taking place in the house. What was the incident? We may list out like the arrival of Mr. Patil, the police sub-inspector, and the conversation between Mr. Patil and Amma, or we can also say that the conversation between Mr. Patil and the family members including Amma, Mohan and others. Got it? And what was the conversation taking place between these two? The conversation is nothing but the introduction of Mr. Patil to the family. He introduced that he was a closest friend to their father and how he was very brilliant than Mr. Patil. He initiated like that, but eventually he came to know that he concluded that his intention of visiting their house. So directly he asked them the intention of his investigation. Got it? So what is the intention of his investigation? Yes, his intention is to know whether they had kept the cyclostyling machine or not in their house, because his higher officers were talking about the cyclostyling machine in the office. When he heard that news, he immediately came to the house and asked all the members of the family to know the cyclostyling machine and to know them what would be the circumstances if the police officers come to the house. And these were the conversation taking place between the people. Got it? And now we are going to discuss about the remaining. We will start from 16th para. Got it? Now let me read the lesson. Listen carefully and put your finger where I read. If you find any new words or difficult words, tell me after completion of my reading. Got it? Now let us go. Come to the page number 184, 16th paragraph. Huh? Mohan scoffed. But you have the cyclostyling machine. No! Mohan repeated angrily. You are wasting time spying on us. Tell me. The man ignored Mohan and spoke to Amma. Yes, Amma replied simply, and Mohan made an angry hissing sound. Where is it, Amma? You have gone? Inside. Manju's heart began beating loudly. Why was Amma giving them away? Give it to me. I will get it out of the way. You can have it when it's safe. Mohan burst out again. Amma, what are you doing? How can you trust a policeman? The man touched Mohan on the shoulder. Mohan, you are still very young. There are many things you don't understand. I am a policeman, yes. But your father was, and still is my friend. And this is my country as much as it is yours. Now give it to me quickly. They may come any moment. Amma opened the door of the puja room and said, Suman emerged. wiping her face with her sari, looking anxiously at them. Come in, Amma beckoned to the man. It's here. Suma stared at Amma, and the man is bewildered. Amma smiled at her and said, You have got to get away. Suman, take away all that materials. Mohan, will you? Mohan stared at Amma, at Suman, and finally at Patil, who stared steadily back at Mohan. And suddenly the two smiled at each other. Okay, Amma, Mohan said and ducked into the puja room. He lugged the machine out and gave it to Patil. Do you have a luggage bag with you? The man asked. Manju, Amma began, but Babu had already got it. That's fine. That's fine. The man said, and then they were gone. Patil, Mohan, and Suman. The house seemed unbelievably quiet after the earlier intense activity. Let's go back to bed, Amma suggested. Mohan came back shortly. Suman, Manju asked him anxiously. She is all right. Go to bed, Manju, Amma said. Bed? With the police about to come? But nevertheless, she did drop off at some time and came out of her sleep with a jerk to hear a loud knock at the door. It was repeated. Manju sat up in a sudden fright. Amma patted her comfortingly. Who is it? She asked loudly. Open the door. A strange voice ordered. Mohan, see who it is. Amma said. It was like going through something all over again. But this time they knew for sure it was not a friend standing out there. No need for Mohan to announce, Amma, it's the police. My dear student, this is about the lesson. I hope that you understood my reading. And also you have 2 minutes to have silent reading. Go and have silent reading for 2 minutes and try to comprehend the gist or meaning of the paragraph which I have read now. Okay, dear students, did you make any new words? Did you try to comprehend the gist of the summary of the paragraphs? Okay, good, well tried, very good. Dear students, I have also listed out some new words here. Let me read all those. First one, scoff means ಹೀಗಳೆಯುವುದು in Kannada. ಹೀಗಳೆಯುವುದು. Spine. What does it mean? Spine means ಗೂಢಾಚಾರ ಮಾಡುವುದು. Got it? And then hissing sound. ಬುಸುಗುಟ್ಟುವಿಕೆ in Kannada. And then beckoned. ಸನ್ನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು. And then bewilderment. Confused state. Bewilderment means confused state. ಗೊಂದಲಮಯ ಭಾವಗಳು. And then duck, enter. Then lug, pull roughly. Nevertheless, adagyu. And then fright, fear. Drop off, decrease. Drop off, decrease. These are the new words. Got it? I hope that you will write it down in your notes. Got it? Now come to the paragraph 16. Dear students, in the last class we stopped up to the conversation between Mr. Patil as well as all the family members. Mr. Patil explained everything. What is his intention to visit their house? Got it? This was the thing what we discussed in the last class. And then when Mr. Patil asked all the members to search their house, in that night Mr. Patil asked and he said all the family members, especially Mohan and Amma, that they were going to be such in their house that night. Then Mohan became shocked. He was confused and he says that, huh? Mohan scoffed. Scoffed means what? He galeಯುವುದು. Mohan did not accept that Mr. Patil and his officers were going to search in that night. They are going to search the house in that night. Here, Mohan did not accept that. So that is why he tries to reject that. So he utters his feeling like, he is not ready to accept that, accept the police arrival. But you have the psychostyling machine. Mr. Patil tried to convince him that all of the family members have their psychostyling machine. And he was completely confident about that. Mr. Patil, our sub-inspector, is completely confident about that the family of the teacher are having cyclostyling machine, and as his knowledge, these family members, especially students, are using this cyclostyling machine for taking the Xerox copies of Mahatma Gandhi's speech. He is completely confident about that. Because of that, he heard that his higher officers were talking about that cyclostyling machine had been kept by these students in the house and they are doing some illegal activity. So when he is completely confident about that, he comes here and he asks all of them to show the cyclostyling machine. But here, the reply of Mohan, he says that no, he is not. Mohan is not ready to accept that. So he says that no, he scoffed. No, we don't have any kind of cyclostyling machine. He says like that. Mohan repeated angrily. He repeated angrily that he did not have any kind of cyclostyling machine. He says always no, we don't have any kind of machines like that. He rejects like that. You are wasting time spying on us. Mohan also said to the police officer that the police officer, Mr. Patil, was wasting time spying on them. Mohan said to the police officer that he was wasting their time. Then tell me, spying means what, my dear students? Spying, Gudachara. That means that it is an activity which is made by the police. Got it? That is nothing but to collect some basic information without giving any earlier information. Got it? So that is why, tell me. But the Mr. Patil, now he becomes very angry against Mohan. Mr. Patil is not ready to argue with Mohan because he knows that he is completely confident about that they have the machine. So that is why he rejects, he neglected the words of Mohan, and he is going to order directly to the Amma of Mohan. Tell me, the man ignored Mohan. The police officer ignored, means he did not give much concentration towards Mohan's speech. He neglected Mohan and he said that, no, you have the cyclostyling machine, tell me the reason. Tell me the truth, he says like that. Mohan and spoke to Amma. He neglected the words of Mohan and he was ready to speak with Amma, or Mohan's Amma, or wife of the teacher who had been arrested. But what would be the reply of Amma? She says, yes, she agreed, she accepted. She is ready to hand it over them. She says, yes, Mr. Patil, we have the cyclostyling machine. She says like that. When Amma says like that, the heart of Mohan has begun to burst. Let us see what has happened. Yes, Amma Amma replied simply, and Mohan made an angry hissing sound. When Amma agrees that, when Amma says yes, Mohan made an angry hissing sound. Hissing, what does it mean in Kannada? Busubutuvike. Mohan is completely angry over his mother because Mohan is not liking that the way of his mother is answering with the police officer. So he is completely angry against mother and he is not ready to give it to the police officer. He is not ready to give the cyclostyling machine to the police officer. That is why he is not ready to do it. So he becomes angry over his mother and make angry sound. Then, where is it? He asked his mother where it was. Mohan asks his mother, where was it? See how Mohan is trying to protect that cyclostyling machine. Mohan thinks that if they had told that they have cyclostyling machine, the police would definitely arrest them, or the student would have been arrested by the police. So that is why Mohan is not ready to give any clue that they have cyclostyling machine. So that is why in front of the police officer, Mohan tries to confuse the police officer as well as Amma, and he asks that, where was it, Amma? Where was the cyclostyling machine? We don't have any kind of cyclostyling machine. What are you talking about? Amma, have you gone mad? Yes. Amma, yenagide ninige? Are you okay or not? He asked like that to Amma. But on the other hand, Amma is completely ready to give it to the police officer. So she says that inside. She replied to the police officer that they have kept the cyclostyling machine inside the puja room. She agrees. She gives clue, complete clue to officer. When she said that the cyclostyling machine is kept inside the puja room, Manju's heart began beating loudly. Manju was also not happy about that. She feels that as if her heart was burst. Then, why was Amma giving them away? Give it to me. I will get it out of the way. See, Manju asking herself that why Amma was ready to give the cyclostyling machine to the police officer. Manju became confused about the state of Amma. But the police officer said that, give it to me. The police officer asked them to give the cyclostyling to them or to him. I will get it out of the way. He said that he would get it out of the way. He says that he would get it to the safer side. He says that he convinces to all family members that he would protect that cyclostyling machine. See, think about, my dear student. Now we can read the mentality of the police officer. Yes, my dear students, this police officer is not completely belong to the British authority. He is basically belong to his motherland. He is belong to India. His name symbolizes that Mr. Patil, the name symbolizes that he is belong to India. But he is working as a police officer under the Majesty's government of British. But he is not ready to support the British. Whereas he is ready to support his friend teacher as well as his family members. So that is why he convinced all of them that to hand that cyclostyling machine over him, that it would very help to him to keep in safe. So that is why he has come here, isn't it, my dear students? And then You can have it when it's safe. See, he also gives complete leave. Yes, he says all of them. If you need any kind of, if you need that machine in any future time, definitely he says that he would provide that machine when it is safe. So now he is going to protect the family of the teacher. Got it? Yes. So that is why he comes early before they come. Got it? Then Mohan burst out again. See, Mohan cannot understand the intention of Mr. Patil. Mohan cannot understand the intention of Mr. Patil, the police inspector, why he has come here and why he was asking that cyclostyling machine. But still he is feeling very bad about that. He also feeling like that burst out again, his heart burst out again. Amma, what are you doing? Mohan asked his mother what she was doing. Yes, dear students, Amma was doing the right thing. Got it? But Mohan cannot understand what Amma was doing and Mr. Patil was doing. Got it? Then how can you trust a policeman? He also asked Amma how she could trust a policeman. Yes, sometimes we must trust them because it is completely safer side. Got it? Let us see. The man touched Mohan on the shoulder. The policeman comes very close to Mohan and put his hand on his shoulder, on Mohan's shoulder, and he tries to convince why he has come and what is the main prime, the visiting of the house. Mohan, see, he starts his speech. Mohan, he was still very young. Mohan, you are still very young. You are growing. You cannot understand the big things. You don't understand the things what are happening there outside your house and in the office of the police office. So he explained everything. And then there are many things you don't understand, and also he says that there are many things which cannot be understood by Mohan. Mr. Patil knows everything and mother of Mohan knows everything. These two know the complete details what was happening out of their house. Got it? As well as in the police station. But Mohan cannot understand. And Mr. Patil is going to convince him, Mr. Patil is going to make him to know why he has come there. Then, I am a policeman. He says that he was a policeman. Mr. Patil says that he was a policeman. Yes, exactly. Yes, and also he continues that yes, how do none of a police officer agirbodu, but still a good friend of your father. See, my dear student, you can observe here when he stresses the word, but your father was and still is my friend. He says that my dear son. He says to Mohan, your father was not only a good friend to me, but also a good fellow to me. Even still we are closest friends. See, and this is my country. This is his country. Mr. Patil explaining everything. This is not only your country, but also mine. This is also my country. He says that I am also having some desire to do something to our nation. Mr. Patil says that he wanted to give some contribution to the nation, to the motherland, as much as it is yours. See, he says that as you like how your motherland, I am also liking my motherland. Now, give it to me quickly. Now, Mr. Patil asked him, give the cyclostyling machine to him very quickly. They may come any moment. See, they may come. Who does they refer here? They. Yes, higher officers who are speaking in the police station about the cyclostyling machine. Got it? That is the real police officer. When real means here the police officers who are completely supporting the British government. They may come at any moment, at any time. Give it to me earlier. I will get it out of the way, he says. Amma opened the door of the puja room and said, now Amma, she understood everything. She understood the words of Mr. Patil and opened the door of puja room and said, Suman emerged. When she asked Suman emerged. She came out of puja room, wiping her face with her sari. She comes by wiping her face with her sari, looking anxiously at them. She feel very sad about that. She completely excited and saw all of them. Come in, Amma beckoned to the man. Amma called. She welcomed Mr. Patil or sub-inspector to the puja room. She welcomed Mr. Patil to puja room, beckoned to them. It's here. And she said that it was there. What was there? What was there? Yes, it was styling machine. Suman stayed at Amma. Suman looked steadily at Amma. He was completely confused about that. And the man is bewilderment. And the man, police officer, when he saw the psycho-styling machine inside the puja room, he became bewilderment. Bewilderment means dumbfounded. Yes, he became excited. See, bewilderment, confused. Mr. Patil became confused when he saw the psycho-styling machine which was being using in the puja room, and they were taking Xerox copies of Mahatma Gandhi's speech. And his suspension was completely right now. Got it? Bewilderment. Amma smiled at her and said to Suma, you have got to get away. She asked Suman to give it to them. Suman, take away all that materials, Mohan. See, then Amma asked not only Suman but also Mohan to take all the materials which are belong to psycho-styling machine and hand it over to Mr. Patil. Amma asked Mohan to collect all the materials which are belong to psycho-styling machine and hand it over to the police officer. Will you? Yes. Yeah, she asked like that. Mohan stayed at Amma. Mohan was also completely confused. He looked steadily towards Amma, at Suman and finally at Patil. Mohan looked not only Amma, not only Suman but also police officer, who stayed steadily back at Mohan. Everybody, they gave their look to Mohan. And suddenly, the two smiled at each other. Everybody, they smiled each other, all of them. Okay, Amma, Mohan said and ducked into the puja room. Mohan also finally agreed to hand it over to the police officer, and he ducked into the puja room. He entered the puja room. He lugged the machine out and gave it to Patil. He lugged it. Lugged, what does it mean? Lug. Pull roughly. Lug, pull roughly. Lugged, pulled roughly. Mohan pulled that psycho-styling machine roughly out of the puja room and gave it to Patil. And then he gave the psycho-styling machine to Patil. Do you have a luggage bag with you? Yes. See here, Mr. Patil asked all of them that whether they have any kind of luggage bag or a big luggage means big bag to carry it out. The man asked, Manju, Amma began. Still, Amma is about to call to Manju to bring it out, to bring the big luggage bag. Before that, but Babu, before she is going to say it, Babu already had brought the bag, had already got. Mr. Patil became very happy about that. That's fine, that's fine. Yes, Mr. Patil felt very happy about that. Before asking that bag, they have already got it. The man said, and then they were gone. Then after they take it out of the puja room and they left the house. Mr. Patil, Mohan and Suman, all of three, they left with the cyclostyrene machine. The house seemed unbelievably quiet after the earlier instance activity. The house seemed unbelievably. The house became quite silence. How much it was silence? They were unable to believe. They were unable to believe. Before that, before Mr. Patil arrived, there we could see some kind of noises in the house. But now, after this incident happened, the house became completely silent, quiet. Got it? Then, let's go back to bed. Amma suggested all of them. She asked all of them, let us go to bed. Mohan came back shortly. Mohan, after he has completed his work, he came back to house. Suman, Manju asked anxiously. Manju asked Mohan, where was Suman? Then Mohan replied that she is all right. Mohan replied that she was completely right. Go to bed, Manju. Go to bed, Manju, Amma said. Bed? With the police about to come? See, when this incident happened, when all of them went with all of them means Mr. Patil, Suman and Mohan went with the cyclostyrene machine. After arrival of Mohan, Manju asked about Suman, whether she is right or not. And all of this happened. Go to bed, Manju. Amma finally asked Manju to go to bed. Bed? With the police about to come? Manju replied that, should we go to bed? If the police officer would come again, she asked like that. But nevertheless, what is meant by nevertheless? Nevertheless, argue. But still, in spite of that, although she did drop off at some time, she decreased sometime. She decreases the things and she was also ready to go to bed and came out of her sleep. But all of them, when Amma asked all of them to go to bed, everybody, they ready to sleep. They went there, came out of her sleep with a jerk to hear a loud knock at the door again. My dear students, Manju, again she came out of her bedroom when she heard the door sound again. Now, the knocking of the door. Again, the door is knocking from the outside of their house. Again, it was repeated. It was repeated. It's just nothing but the earlier incident, as if it was as if the incident was repeating again. It was repeated. Manju sat up in sudden fright. When Manju heard the door sound or knocking sound of the door, suddenly she got up with fright. Fright means fear. With the fear, she got up from the bed. Amma patted her comfortingly. Amma ಆಕೆಗೆ ತಟ್ತಾಳೆ ಮಲಗಬಾ ಅಂತ comfortingly. Who is it? She asked loudly. Amma asked loudly who it was. Open the door. A strange voice ordered. My dear students, look at here. Same repeated again. See here, the strange voice. Strange means yes, who is not familiar. Again, unknown voice said from the outside the door. To open the door, Mohan, see who it is. Amma said to Mohan, to see who it was. It was like going through something all over again. It was going something all over again, as if it was repeating again. But this time, they knew for sure it was not a friend. But dear students, in this time, for the second time, it was not actually a real friend of their family who stood outside the door and who was knocking the door, but standing out there. Now, no need for Mohan to announce. Mohan still he was about to announce who was there, but Amma, it's the police. See, still Mohan is about to announce, about to open. As soon as he opened the door of his house, there is a real police. Yes, he saw the police officers. Now, this is about the real. See, this is about the story of Narayanapura incident, my dear students. Now we have come to an end of the lesson. So think about it. Now it is the police. Dear students, just go to imagination. If Mr. Patil had not taken away the cyclostyling machine, what would have happened to the family? Think about it. Yes. If Mr. Patil hadn't taken away the cyclostyling machine from the house, the family members would have been arrested by the police and kept all the family members into the prison, or they would be imprisoned. They would be imprisoned as their teacher, as their father, as her husband. Got it? So now we can say that Mr. Patil also played a very vital role to protect the family of teacher, whereas all the students and children of teacher were protesting against the Britishers and how they were trying to safeguard their teacher. So this is the lesson of Narayanapura incident. So this is the way how group of students contributed their patriotism towards their country, and this is the lesson where we could see Mr. Patil also played his role, and he also gave his contribution to his motherland. Got it? Dear students, likewise, you should also develop some patriotic qualities towards your nation or your motherland, and you should always be ready whenever the situation occurs. Got it? Whenever the situation occurs, you should be ready to fight against the enemies as well as the other inventions. Got it? We should always ready to save our country. We should always ready to save our country. Sometime we should also ready to give our lives to our motherland. This is called patriotism. Patriotic means the one who is ready to love his motherland. He is known as a patriot. Got it? Okay, dear students, I hope that all of you understood the Narayanapura incident. And today's homework is you should write all the questions which are there in your exercises. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7 questions are there. You should answer for all these 7 questions and keep with you. Dear students, for your examination purpose, only 2 marks question, only one 2 mark question will be asked for your examination from this chapter. Got it? There are 4 supplementary readers. Among them, you will have 4 questions and 2 choices. Got it? Among the 4 questions, you should write only 2 questions for the 2 plus 2, 4 marks. Got it? Yes. My dear students, read very well and work hard. If you want to shine in your life, you should burn like sun. Got it? Yes. Thank you, my dear students.